Leaky Pete is at it again. Leaky Pete. SignalGate 2.0, right on the heels of SignalGate 1.0. What a blessing, what a gift that keeps on giving Pete Hegseth is. I'm going to play a very brief clip from NBC News, kind of breaking it down, giving you the nuance and what the reporting is on it. But let me just say, as someone, a former holder of a top secret security clearance in the United States Marine Corps, this is unconscionable. This guy should be fired. He should have been fucking fired the first time. It is unbelievable. What it does, it goes to show just how little concern for the American security posture that Donald Trump has. How much respect for the sacrifice of American troops that Donald Trump has. And by extension, Pete Hegseth. They just don't give a shit at all. Pete Hegseth is using Signal to give highly sensitive war plans in a message thread with his wife and his dopey brother, among others, on Signal, on his personal iPhone, because you can't download Signal onto government devices. So he is putting national security at risk on a daily basis. And remember when the first Signal thing broke, and I said, this is just what we know about. If he's doing this brazenly, he's for sure doing it in other ways. And here we are. And I'll say this for the future, when another scandal hits of this magnitude and of this nature, this is all that we know about are these two. There's certainly others. There are certainly others. And then I'm going to show you clips, because when Pete Hegseth looks into the camera and he stares deep into the lens of the camera and he tells you, and I'm telling you where it is right now, you know he's lying. Because he's a liar. He's just like Donald Trump. He's attaching himself to the style and timbre and tone and tenor of Donald Trump's refusals to admit to reality. It's what he's doing. It's remarkable that he's trying to sidle up to Donald Trump in a way that maybe will ingratiate Donald Trump to keep him around for another week or two. Watch this NBC News thread as they kind of go through what's going on. Then I'm going to remind you of his lies looking into the camera about things that we now know to be untrue. And then we're going to show you on the White House lawn just this morning during the egg roll, the Easter egg roll thing, the corporate sponsored NASCAR event at the White House, where he did it again, looks right into the barrel of the lens and lies to the American people.
There are new concerns about the possibility of national security secrets leaking out following the discovery of another unsecured group chat that was used to share details of U.S. military operations overseas. Two sources tell NBC News that Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth used his personal phone to send information ahead of U.S. airstrikes in Yemen to a group chat on that same app that we've talked about here. It's called Signal. 13 people were in that chat, and get this, it included his wife and his brother. Hegseth and other top Trump national security officials were criticized. This was just a month ago for a similar incident. That time, you'll remember the editor-in-chief of The Atlantic magazine. His name's Jeffrey Goldberg. He was accidentally included in another Signal group chat. Well, for more on this, let's bring in NBC News senior White House correspondent Gabe Gutierrez. Gabe, great to see you. Thanks for being with us. What are we learning about this group chat, and any warnings maybe that Secretary Hegseth was given about how to handle this kind of potentially sensitive information after what happened with Jeffrey Goldberg a couple months ago?
Hey there, Savannah. Good morning. Well, as you mentioned, Pete Hegseth now under growing scrutiny after this new group chat was revealed. And as you said, two sources with knowledge of the matter confirmed to NBC News that he did share that sensitive military information on that group chat, Signal group chat, with his wife as well as his brother and personal lawyer, both of whom do work at the Pentagon. Now, the New York Times, which first broke this story, reports that the information in question was flight schedules for U.S. military jets that were targeting Iranian-backed Houthi rebels in Yemen. One source confirms that to NBC News. But as you said, Hegseth now under growing scrutiny and had received a lot of criticism over the last several weeks for sharing the sensitive military information on that first group chat, which we had heard with that Atlantic reporter being added to that chat, which was initially started by National Security Advisor Mike Waltz.
So that's the lay of the land. That's what we're looking at again from Pete Hegseth. didn't learn the lesson from the first time, which, look, for my money, and he's the worst. He is absolutely unqualified and incapable of doing the job. He is not ready for prime time. Never will be, never was, right? But if he were to have said, yeah, this was a mistake, we're gonna correct, we're gonna adjust in the moment, we're gonna shuck and jive and try to do something a little different here. He didn't do that. No apology, no mea culpa moment from him at all. And that should tell you that he is not admitting to what he did wrong, because either he doesn't want to admit it, or because he doesn't actually think what he did was wrong. And that maybe is the most dangerous thing of all, because he doesn't understand and recognize what is actually a threat to the national security posture of the United States. He doesn't understand what his job is, that he's not so secure in being the Secretary of Defense that he has to brag to his wife and his brother about the amount of top secret information he's privy to, which everyone knows you're privy to it, you little coward. You're the Secretary of Defense somehow. So here he is doing what he did last time, looking into the lens and lying, and then we'll get to this morning on the White House lawn.
I've heard I was characterized. Nobody was texting war plans, and that's all I have to say about that.
Right,
Thank you. Appreciate it.
That's it.
The NSC said it was authentic.
Yeah, it's a brief one, but you get the point. You get the point. He looks down the barrel. No war plans were shared. None of that was texted. Nobody messaged that. We know that to be a lie. We've seen the messages. He's a liar, and that's the confidence that he brings when he lies, other than his bouncing around on his toes nervously, which is a thing he does too. Watch him here on the White House lawn just hours ago doing the same thing.
What do you want to say, sir, about the Signal chat controversy?
You know, what a big surprise that a few leakers get fired and suddenly a bunch of hit pieces come out from the same media that peddled the Russia hoax. Won't give back their Pulitzers. They got Pulitzers for a bunch of lies. Pulitzers for a bunch of lies. And on hoaxes, time and time and time again. And as they peddle those lies, no one ever calls them on it. See, this is what the media does. They take anonymous sources from disgruntled former employees, and then they try to slash and burn people and ruin their reputations. Not gonna work with me, because we're changing the Defense Department, putting the Pentagon back in the hands of warfighters, and anonymous smears from disgruntled former employees on old news doesn't matter. So I'm happy to be here at the Easter egg roll with my dad and my kids, because, you know, this is what we're doing it for. These kids right here. This is why we're fighting the fake news media. This is why we're fighting slash and burn Democrats. This is why we're fighting hoaxsters. This group, this group right here, full of hoaxsters that peddle anonymous sources from leakers with axes to grind, and then you put it all together as if it's some news story. And when we know it, we know exactly what it is. So I'm really proud of what we're doing for the president, fighting hard across the board, and I'm going to go roll some Easter eggs with my kids. Thank you very much. Have spoken to the president, and we are going to continue fighting on the same page all the way.
When they attack the messengers, you know they're lying. That's the routine of the Donald Trump administration. As he bounces on his toes and looks into the barrel of the camera, I'm telling you right now, like, we're going to be more, oh, he's really confident. He must not be lying at all. Oh, what an absolute nightmare this is. What do you think? I invite you to this conversation. You can comment below in the comment section. I would appreciate that. You can also call the voicemail line, 714-576-4054. And of course, as always, you can email me daily at dollemore.com. If you're not subscribed yet to this channel, please subscribe. We're trying to grow an operation here that is too big to be messed with. And we are slowly but surely getting to that point. If my videos just get served to you and you watch them with any regularity at all, please subscribe. Click that bell button so you can get all the updates. I would appreciate it very much. Listen, we're in it here. This is dangerous stuff, not just for me, not just for the Department of Defense, not just for our troops. This is for the country and the world. This is dangerous stuff, and we need to be tuned in as much as we can to it. Anyway, I love and appreciate you very much. I'll see you next time. Until then, be genuine. Take care of one another.